Thank you. Happy holidays, everybody. I wanted to read that poem quick because I thought this was going to be, and it may be, yeah, a cursed reading. I was doing of course. It could, you know. I was doing all right. Sunday night I checked the weather and I thought, oh my God, there's no way I'm gonna, it's all going to be freezing rain. I'm going to be calling Greg at 9 o'clock in the morning saying I'm not getting on the ice and all that. And of course it didn't turn out to be that way, and the weather forecast kept changing, and my confidence grew and grew. Until yesterday, late afternoon, when I got a call from my friend, the poet and playwright Red Shuttleworth. A couple, several people in here may know him. Well, a couple people I know too. And so Greg's very happy because, Greg. Red's very happy because his daughter, the poet, Kira Shuttleworth, just had a poem accepted for the Norton Introduction to Literature or something. So I'm very excited about that. I thought that was great news, and I should have gotten off the phone then. He kept talking, and he said that, well, he's got a play that's going into production in one of the colleges in New York State, and that he also had, so he had to make a couple trips there from Oregon, from Washington, and that he also had to do a reading, and how he hated to do readings. And I'm like, well, don't go any further, because I'm reading tomorrow. And I don't want to hear about that. And of course, it didn't stop him for a second. His problem with readings is they fill him with self-loathing. And I'm like, well, hoping he didn't mean what he said. I said, well, I was just looking at these poems the other night. Yeah, they're not nearly as good as I kind of hoped they were, or remember these. I always a little nervous about that. Said, no, self-loathing. He hates himself when he's doing readings. And so I've been kind of nervous about that being contagious. We'll see. Over the hill where rock and roll dies. So again, the strawberry roan broke in two and scattered halves and cowboy to the wind. That breath which like the colt blows baby sweet one day and harsh as bitter age the next. Midnight at last weekend's party, a drunk Floridian rode him out of the corral and among cars and music and lights, other drunks loud talk, down the road without a blink of the colt's eye or a sidestep or a startle or the turn of a red hair. But pushing cattle this early morning, 2 miles or more from home, heat already something saddled to our backs, not once but twice he sent poor Johnny, good a young cowboy as I know, high into a windmilling sky until gravity pulled him back to earth face first. Now cattle on fresh grass, the rest of the crew back at the corrals, I'm crawling this old Chevy across a grazed down pasture. In the rearview mirror, Johnny on the tailgate, leading the colt, stirrup leathers of the empty saddle hanging, a mournful procession, walking a ghost of hope for a good horse home. Only later we find the rawhide Bozel to blame, the touch of the horsehair McCarty at the hole it rubbed in the colt's jaw that set him off. Nothing mean about him, but the hurt that made him so. I suppose we're all more or less sweet in our natures, but terrors in our pains and our pain and fear. The sun just down, I drive the Chevy on fumes the few miles to town to fill the tank, and with a thought of a beer or two from an understanding bartender on a night when the heat won't drop off. I pass on the radio recap of war news, favor rock and roll from the speaker until I cross over the ridge north of town where solid earth blocks a clear signal. I drop down toward Maine in neutral, gravity pulling me to the pumps where I swipe a card and code a computer. From where I stand beneath the bugs and fluorescent lights, I can see all the way down this short street, past my NASCAR-loving neighbors' big rigs, to a western sky of colors they can't name. The Chevy's tank is huge. The pump pumps and pumps gas as if on dry sand. For them, it's been a weekend of tractor pulls. If modern pickups weren't fuel injected, and if I could find a rock in this dusty country, I'd smash every Republican carburetor on Main, march into the bar and tell them all to get a horse. But the party's nearing up its end, at that place where drunks get dangerous, at this point when people die. Hell, let's burn it all before we wake to a guaranteed headache, to roll the long way home the best we can. Next foot dragging ahead of the last, dust devils laughing at our backs.